All right, there, viewers. Welcome back to the Clyde journey continues, and it has been a delightful journey so far. We've got good though and bad to talk about. The good. Let's start with the good. The results. We've really kicked on since we beat Stranraer. You saw it. We've won every game apart from a 1-1 defeat at Alloa. Ironically, Alloa, the bottom club, or were at least at that point the bottom club in the division. So you'd have thought maybe that was the game we won, but no, we've won 5 out of 6. And we're going really well. Sadly for us, Dundee United are just going a little bit better. But Sandy McCluskey, 17 goals, and that brings me on to the sad news. Sandy McCluskey, the deal, we weren't going to be able to negotiate any new deal. He just wasn't interested. He wanted to play for a higher caliber club, and who can blame him? Hibernian, he'll be joining. It is a free transfer. The most money we were ever offered for the lad was about $5,000. Now, yeah, $5,000 is better than none, but quite honestly, I would have had to lose him a lot sooner. And given what he's given to the club, I needed him to stay. Do I think he'll get the chances with Hibernian? Maybe. I mean, their job is available, So is that a sign? I didn't really see me staying in Scotland, and it's a 3-star club. I'm probably not up to that level just yet, but there's banging in the street. Maybe that's a sign. I'm gonna apply for the Hibernian job, and hopefully, maybe we can follow Sandy. So come on, Hibs. Brilliant. Anyway, we need to focus on our own action today. 55 points. We are 22 points clear of Airdrie in 5th. Safe to say we're making these playoffs. We're 14 points clear of Livingston. 55 points at this stage. We've got 9 games to go in this league. I think, looking at last year's totals, 69 points won the league. I don't think that's going to be the case this time. I think we've just really caught Dundee United in well outside the division they should be in. They need to lose a lot of games. If they have a collapse, then we'll be there to take advantage. To only be within 5 points of Dundee United, I think is pretty good going. And yeah, anyway, let's catch up on some of these results. So, both we managed to win 2-0. It was a late show. Sandy McCluskey and Malcolm Moore with the goals. Then a 1-1 draw. It was a game of 2 red cards and 2 goals, split evenly. Ian Flanagan was the starter of the goals, really. Scored halfway through the first half before Murray Loudon gave us a share of the spoils. I did think we might be able to push on and get a winner because they were down to 10 men, but then David Marsh was sent off with 10 minutes to go, and that sort of settled the tie as a contest. Then we went to Livingston, a great result, although they've really scaled off, given they were only a few points behind us at one stage. I think when we beat Stranraer, we actually leapfrogged them into second place, so from that point on to then to go 12-30. The banging is continuing. I don't really know what I'm trying to record. Sean Burns got the goal in the 65th minute, and that was all she wrote. And then a 2-1 win over Airdrie. We struggled against Airdrie. You can see this little clutch of games here, this batch. We played them 3 times and didn't win any of them. But we managed to win 2-1. Scott Ferguson in for Loudon, due to injury to Loudon or suspension, I can't remember which it was. And then a Sandy McCluskey goal cancelled out Stephen Japp's equaliser. And then a weird game, 4-3 against Brecon. Now, Brecon were 4-1 down, and then we had David Martin again sent off. We went straight up the other end after that and scored, but then the referee gave them a penalty and allowed more time after the game than he probably should have. And yeah, so that's where we are. Hopefully we can continue with the wins. It's Forfar. It's a team that we normally beat, which probably means because I'm going to record it, we're going to lose. So, happy days. We'll give it a go. I'll see you pitch side in just a second. So this is the team then. Marsh is suspended because he was sent off again against Brecon. So it's McNiff who comes into the centre pairing with McKendry. Wilson and Stokes are in fullback positions, and then it's the front 6 that you are familiar with. If you're not familiar with them, then you've not been watching the series so far. Hopefully, we can continue. Forfar, as I say, a team we normally expect to beat. This is the 6th time this season alone that we've played them. We've won 5 out of 5 so far. This is the first one that I've decided to show everyone. So, what do you reckon? 4-0 defeat? 5, 6, 7? Yep, 4-0. It's going to be 4-0, and that's a long ball, diagonal ball, but Stokes will pick it out. Whew. I mean, we've had a bit on a cracking run. You can't deny it. What's Stokesy doing? He finds Loudon on this. Maybe something will happen here. McCluskey's in. McCluskey, thank you, Forfar. You're a dream to play against as Sandy McCluskey. I think that's his 21st, 22nd goal of the season. And within a minute, we take the lead. If you're an away fan of Forfar, well, you're only away if they're playing away. If you're a fan of Forfar, would you really go to this game knowing that this is likely to be defeat 6 in 6? It's a tough run. They're probably the team that I've beaten the most. The keeper makes no effort, and Sandy McCluskey smashes it for some reason. He could have just rolled it into the net, but no, he decided to put his full boot through that one. And we take a very early, and hard to say deserved, but it was a good move, deserved lead. And that's a long ball picked up by McKendry, who finds Stokes, who started the move last time out, of course, for the goal. Datnovitz finds McCluskey. We're really going to miss McCluskey, aren't we? Wilson, Burns, goes back to Wilson. He finds Loudon creeping in, and well saved by Joe Hart. Joe Hart. Hang on a minute. It is actually a J. Bear with me. Jordan Hart. Panic over. I thought Joe Hart had finally found his level and found his way down to Scottish League One. He started to move, though, and Campbell, look at them streaking forward here. They're going to equalise. Campbell crosses in. Smith's there, and it is in the back of the net. Well, we were distracted by Joe Hart. You would be. You know, he's probably doing a shampoo commercial in this pouring rain. Perfect time for it. And it was just a punt down the pitch there. We didn't win this header. It was headed down to Robertson. And at this point now we're in real trouble as the fullback is well out of position. And we were never really recovering. Campbell gets to the byline. This is only the 6th minute as well. And, Smith got up between two. Probably a little bit not as good as we'd expect with David Marsh missing. McNiff isn't quite the man that David Marsh is. And 1-1. 1-1 against not our bogey. It's the opposite of a bogey team. Don't know. Let me know. And now we have an injury to Datnovitz. Bazza will come on and we'll just move Fleck further forward. That's the only real option we have there. And attacking mid is in my mind for improvement if we were to stay at this club. I doubt we will. But it does depend on what offers become available. I mean, we've not really had any alternatives. If Hibs come up, no offence to the bully, but Hibs, Sandy McCluskey's going to Hibs, so it's got to be a good club, hasn't it? 1-1 then at half time. Forfar only really had the one chance, but then so have we. So it's a bit of a pickle. Not too sure what we do. I am not pleased with the performance because we always beat Forfar. Maybe this was the game to 63 travelling fans, hopeful to break the duck. Although they give the ball straight to Bazza in the first minute of the second half. And McKendry finds MacArthur. Finds McCluskey out to Bazza. And that's a decent strike in the near post. Awful goalkeeping from Joe Hart. You'd have thought he'd get that a bit more coverage. He sort of left a gaping hole for Bazza to find that corner. As you'll see here, McKendry goes infield to MacArthur. And it's a pretty good play for MacArthur, really. That's a nice ball in. McCluskey never panics. Bazza, that is a really big gaping hole for the goalkeeper to leave for any player. Bazza's not a bad striker of the ball, and we take a 2-1 lead. We've scored early in the first half, early in the second. Yet again, good times to score. Near the hour mark then, Stokesy takes a throw. MacArthur finds Loudon, and Loudon's tackled, and Smith is here, the goal scorer for 4-5, finds Renton. And they do get their men forward pretty well, you've got to say. Stokes will cover this one, though. And McNiff is there. MacArthur finds Loudon. Can he do better than he did a minute ago? He does. He finds McCluskey, who's just injects a bit of pace into proceedings. He goes all the way over this. He's really crossed the pitch there. Goes all the way back to Sean Wilson, who finds Bazza again. Fleck, is that a penalty? No. I thought there might be something there. There wasn't. MacArthur will pick up the loose ball now. And that's a odd pass into Stokes, but we get away with it. Fleck finds Loudon on this right side. He finds McCluskey. McCluskey beats Hart. And McCluskey had a lovely involvement in what could have been a chance earlier in that move, but it turns out he's the man who's actually getting on the end of the ball through and scores another goal for the club. That's his second of the game. 22, 23 goals now, I think, for the season. That's pretty exceptional for a lad of his age, and we hope... I'd love to stay with him at Hibs. I really would, but I doubt we'll get the opportunity. We just don't have the managerial experience. That's a great finish as well. Joe Hart, woeful Joe. So 65 minutes, a free kick from McNiff finds Stokes, who goes all the way forward to Loudon. Infield to Fleck. McCluskey loses out, but we come back with it though. It's Loudon. Where's he going to go? All the way back to the goalkeeper? No, McNiff to Bazza, to Fleck. McCluskey again, he could send Bazza on his way. Burns is there, it's 4-1. We always beat Forfar. Eat it, Forfar. I hope I don't end up managing Forfar, to be honest, because I feel like I've burnt my bridges. Interestingly, looking at that league table, I'm sure Dundee United are playing and we're close to within 3 points at this point. We started the day 5 points adrift. I mean, there's still 25 minutes to go or so whatever they're doing in their game, they could easily... This is interesting from Bazza. He decided not to shoot, maybe guilty of overplaying there, but good decision in the end as Sean Burns puts one into the back of the net. No problem. So there's 15 minutes to go now. I noticed the attendance today, over 1,000 supporters, and not boosted by Dundee United's travelling horde. So that's pretty good for us to have over 1,000. Fleck goes over the crossbar. Not bad. Good move. Good interplay between the front four. But yeah, good attendance for us. Over 1,000 supporters inside the Broadwood. That's certainly better than it has been in well, not recent years, but well, yeah, I suppose recent years. We've signed one player, Paul McLean, has come in. He's basically a right-back option that we see. I should have really shown you him. Let's just have a quick look at his stats. Paul McLean, yeah, you know, he's just bodies. He's just an option to put on at right-back, really, when we have to take Stokesy off, like now. Perfect example. That's why I've shown you to him. Anyway, McLean, the man. Anyway, corner, it's headed away by McKendry. What a signing he's been. And Campbell, the goal scorer. Oh, no, it wasn't him, was it? It was Ian Smith. It was Campbell who crossed the ball. Yep, I'm with you. So that'll be it. 4-1. We always beat Forfar. 6 wins in 6 against them this season. That's quite a record. I don't know why. I really don't know why it is that we just have their number, but we do. We have it in spades. We always beat Forfar. In this case, we've managed to put 4 past Forfar, not 5 past 5. As a reference. If you know what that is, then you're about as old as I am. Fantastic. All right, so we're closing in now to this business end of the season. I think what we'll do is we're going to have to say, let's pop back for the final game of the season. I don't think we're going to be able to overhaul Dundee United. I'm terrified that we've got them next away from home. I don't feel like we played them at home twice this season, but we must have. That attendance there, you can see, boosted again. That's the 1,000 away fans. They really do love it. Yeah, oh, they did recover. So it's the 5-point gap remains, but that's regardless. We're not going to be catching Dundee United. It does mean that we've got 6 wins in 7 games. That's ideal. We've not lost a game since January. It's now nearly March, so we'll lose on the 3rd of March to Dundee United. I'll be back for that Brecon game. Hopefully, we can be in a position where we could overtake him. And can you imagine if Dundee United really just have a hemorrhage of wins? You know, if they just stop playing well. I mean, let's have a quick look at their schedule. Yeah. I mean, that's dream-worthy as a manager, isn't it? Fair play. Yeah, late doors. You know, they're even doing all right in the cups as well. They knocked out Celtic. That's the kind of level we're dealing with. They knocked out Celtic in the Scottish Cup. So, yeah, shouldn't really be in this division. And they're robbing me of a title place and a promotion to the Scottish Championship. I'm not offended, I'm just disappointed. Brilliant. Right, I'll be back for the final game of the season. We'll wrap up any news or outgoings in terms of my career. At that stage, we'll also look to see, I suppose, once we get the money in, whether we can apply for that next badge. That's the aim of the series, obviously, to get as many badges as we can and push up and get on with our career, because we've been in Scotland for 3 years nearly, and we've not won anything apart from one promotion via playoffs. Excellent. Well, do pop a like on the video and subscribe if you're not already. I'll see you again on the very next video. Goodbye.